How is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with week 4 in my NFL picks for the 2013/2014 season. And I'm wearing my hat backwards again because ever since I started, every game of every video I've worn my hat backwards in. That week the Titans won, so it's a lucky streak. I'm gonna keep it going. And I do want to say though that I'm sick. I think I have strep throat. My throat is killing me. So I don't really want to talk that much. So I'm gonna go through this as fast as I can. I might say a little bit, but not as much as usual because my throat is killing me. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Thursday night game, San Francisco at St. Louis. St. Louis blown out last week, and San Francisco also blown out last week. That loss of Aldon Smith is going to be even worse. I'm not sure the extent of how long he's going to be suspended or whatever. They said he was putting on non-injury leave or something like that. But who do I want to pick? I still think that the San Francisco turn it around and get the win. I think Kaepernick, this is the game, we'll have a big one. Only game on Thursday night, prime time. That's when Colin Kaepernick plays well. I think Frank Gore have some good amount of rushing yards, and I think the defense will come up and finally play all together and play well this game against the Rams. I think they'll win 27-17 over the Rams. Next, we have Baltimore at Buffalo. Baltimore came out and blew out Titans' rival, the Houston Texans, and playing against the Buffalo team, which is, I think, better than some people expect. I think A.J. Manuel's playing better than I expected, at least. I know a lot of people weren't expecting him to play as good as he has. I mean, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad by any means. Coming off loss against the Jets, and it don't get that much worse than that. But I think Baltimore, no problem. Second road team in a row I picked. I'd say by maybe 17 points. I'll go 31 to 14. 31 to 14 sounds good. Next, we have Cincinnati at Cleveland. We have Cincinnati coming off a pretty big win against the Packers, and then you have the Browns coming off a really surprising win against the Vikings. And I know people that hate on Alabama have to say something about Trent Richardson. And since he's not there, they scored 31 points. Brian Hoyer played a heck of a game, and that's the reason that they won. He was playing really well. I think he ended up like 200, 300 passing yards that game. 321. That is insane comparing to how Brandon Weeden has played in the past. So Brian Hoyer, I'm not sure if that's going to be a continued trend, but they look better offensively just because of the quarterback change. But Cincinnati, the young team, they're growing up before our eyes. Andy Dalton should have a big game. I think Cleveland will continue to score some points, but I think Cincinnati will outscore them. The third straight road team I picked, and I will say Cincinnati 27, Cleveland 24 in a close one. Now we have Chicago at Detroit. Do we want to pick defense, or do we want to pick the Lions with that insane offense that can strike at any time? Their defense did play well last week. They held the Rams to 7 points. That's Detroit. And Chicago is one of the few teams left in football undefeated. Absolutely blew out Pittsburgh on this Sunday night game. God, guys, my throat's hurting. I might need to go a little bit faster. But I think the Bears will get the win. I think defense will come up big. I think they can score more points than some people think. Absolutely lit up the Steelers' defense. I think they'll light up the Detroit's defense as well. I think Detroit will score some points because they can score points against anybody. But I think Chicago will come out with kind of a high-scoring game. I'll go to Chicago 35, Detroit 27. Next, we have the Giants at Kansas City. This will be the first home team I picked in this video. The Giants has been playing horrible. Their offensive line is garbage. I think every Giants fan will agree with me. Their offensive performance last week against the Panthers was horrendous, and I even saw a couple of Giants fans come on here that said they might go 0-16. I don't think so, but Chiefs are still one of the teams still undefeated. Sorry, I didn't turn my phone off. Still undefeated in the NFL this season. Okay. Who did Kansas City play last week? I don't even see it on. Oh, that's right. They played the Eagles. My bad. My bad. But anyways, where were we? Giants at Kansas City. Giants. I mean, the Chiefs really slowed down the Eagles' offense. Alex Smith played well. They took advantage of special teams, and I don't think there's any way the Giants can beat them. I think they have a good defensive line. The Chiefs do. Just like I said, the Giants' offensive line's garbage. I mean, as good as Eli Manning is, when you have a millisecond to throw the football, you're not going to get anywhere. And I think they had one passing yard in the first half against the Panthers, which is horrible. I think they had 6 sacks in the first half. It was ridiculous. But Kansas City's D-line will win this game. Get after Eli Manning, maybe get more than 5 sacks. I'll say Chiefs 27, Giants 10. Arizona at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay coming off the blowout against the New England Patriots, and Arizona coming off was 31-7 loss to the Saints, and they didn't play good offensively. Tampa Bay didn't really play good offensively, couldn't really hold the Patriots in check, and same thing with Arizona. So I think these teams are better than what they played last week. Just off week for them. Two above average quarterbacks in Carson Palmer and Josh Freeman. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched. I think Arizona's offense is better. Tampa Bay's defense is better. Compensate for each other. Hard to pick. I'll go with the home team, Tampa Bay. I think Josh Freeman will make a few more plays than Carson Palmer will. And I think the run game will be a big difference too with Doug Martin in the backfield. And I say Tampa Bay wins very close, 24-21 over the Cards. Next we have Colts at Jacksonville. Enough said. Jacksonville's just bad. Colts looking mighty good. Beating the 49ers last week. What was the final score in that game? I can't remember. It's 27-7. That's right. Their defense played amazing. But it's just because San Francisco's wide receivers are not as good as they expected to, and they're not as good as they thought they were coming into the season. They haven't really played up to their potential. But anyways, I think Colts win back easily, 31-10 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another good game, Seattle at Houston. I think Seattle might be either the second or best team in the NFL between the Seahawks, between them and the Broncos. Sorry. I think Houston was kind of exposed last week. Baltimore ran all over them. The Flacco had a big game. Offense couldn't get anything going. They shut down Andre Johnson. Seattle, one of the best defenses, might be the best defense in the NFL. I think will hold Houston to a fewer points than some people think. Second straight week, I think Houston will get beat pretty bad. I'll say Seattle behind Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, 28-17 over the Houston Texans. Next, we have Pittsburgh at Minnesota. I think the battle of winless teams, I believe. Minnesota, they haven't played bad. They've been Christian Ponder's not having the best year, and they get their all their games so far has been close. I think they're better than what they're. If there's any winless team right now in the NFL that has a chance to make the playoffs, I think the best shot would be the Minnesota Vikings right now. Pittsburgh's offense just bad. Wide receivers, I have no confidence in them. Offensive line's bad as well. Pouncey out for the season. Defense, Pittsburgh's defense is going to be good at times. They didn't play good last week, but they're better than what they played last week. And I'll go Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to run all over them. And I think they'll get the first one of the season. It'll be like a low scoring game. I'll go Minnesota 21, Pittsburgh 14. Here we go. The New York Jets at my Tennessee Titans. I don't believe there's any way the Jets can win. I'm not sold on their offense. Geno Smith is playing better than what Mark Sanchez was. I think they're a lot better than what they would be with Mark Sanchez. But other than that, not sold on. We'll be able to run the football. Jake Locker played great last week. I believe that will continue. Our defense is so much better than the national perception is. We might have maybe a top 5, top 10 maybe a top 5 defense in the NFL. That's how good we've been playing. Especially front seven. We've been getting after the quarterback, and that's been the one negative factor of our defense past couple seasons, and that's completely changed. But I just love the way our defense is playing. No problem. I think we should make Geno Smith look like the rookie he is playing in Tennessee. In Nashville, I think the Titans will win easily, 27-14 over the Jets. Washington at Oakland. I think Washington gets their first win of the season. I don't think Oakland is as bad as some people think. But they're still, I don't believe, can beat Washington. I think Washington's had a tough few games. I think it's going to take a while for RG3 to get into season form. But I think he'll have finally a real big game this game, breakout. And I think this will get the Redskins going on tracks. They're not as bad as Owen. They're not a bad 0-3 team. They have not been playing great, but they're better than what the record shows, much like Minnesota. I think the Redskins win. RG3, Alfred Morris has a big game. I say Washington wins 27. No, let's go 31-21 over the Raiders. Next, we have Philadelphia at the Broncos. I don't think any Eagles fan would disagree with me when I say I think the Broncos are going to win. I mean, best team in football, I believe. Peyton Manning is having an insane year. Just ask the people I've played in fantasy this season. But I mean, Philadelphia's not a bad team. I think they're going to be in the playoff hunt at the end of the season. They've had a couple bad breaks for the 2 losses that they have. Michael Vick, I believe, he had a bad game last week. Well, he ran the ball well, but he couldn't really throw. But the other 2 games, he's had a pretty good game through the air, and I think he'll put up some yards this game. But I don't think there's any chance for him to win unless Peyton has a bad game, which is almost impossible. I think Denver at home gets a big win, 35-17 over the Eagles. Next, we have Dallas at San Diego. Ooh, who do I want to pick? San Diego, they're better than I thought they were going to be coming into the season. They really were. They fought hard against us. We had to have a comeback victory to beat Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. They played well. They did get help from a ton of penalties. We had over 100 yards in penalties. But Phillip Rivers is looking very good. I think Mike McCoy's really rejuvenated him and sparked him to have another good season after that lackluster season a year ago. And Dallas, they're looking pretty good. They had a big win against the Rams last week, and I think they'll continue it. I think they'll beat the Chargers. Very close, playing in San Diego. It'll be whatever quarterback makes the least mistakes. And well, not necessarily that. Why did I even say that? I just think Cowboys more offensive firepower, better wide receivers. I think more talent. There's more talent around Tony Romo than it is Phillip Rivers, and I think that will come into play. It'll be a very, very close game. Would not be surprised if San Diego wins, but gut feeling Cowboys 27-24 over the San Diego Chargers. But like I said, San Diego is not as bad as anybody thought coming into the season. They could challenge for a wild card spot this season. Ooh, this is a really good game. I didn't even know this was coming on this week. Wow, I need to think about this for a second. The Patriots at the Falcons. And man, I won't even be able to watch this game, so I'll have a game this Sunday. Wow. Man, I think this could be the Patriots' first loss in the season. I think this is really the first tough competition they played. Falcons on the best top 5 team in the NFL. Matt Ryan should have a pretty good game. I think the defense of the Falcons will come up big. The wide receivers still not necessarily where they need to be for the Patriots. Even though they're supposedly getting back Gronk, that will help open up the offensive line. And I think that'll keep them in the game. But it will still take Gronk a few weeks to get back. Maybe more than a few weeks to get back to how he was. I mean, the dude's had 17,000 surgeries over the offseason. I think the Falcons win. Give the Patriots first loss of the season. Close. 31-28 over the Patriots. And next we have Miami at New Orleans, a battle of undefeated. That's right, Miami's still undefeated. Miami's been playing really good. Comeback victory last week with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. We all know Saints. Their defense, though, the Saints' defense has been what's really been impressive. They've played really good defense. That's what got them the Week 1 victory pretty much alone against the Falcons. New Orleans. Oh yeah, I forgot. They absolutely blew out Arizona, and their defense as a whole has been playing really good. Miami's been playing good too. Really, kind of a shock how well they've been playing with the wins they pulled out. Close wins, but hey, they're undefeated still. Both teams, a battle of undefeated. Maybe it's by far the best, I believe, Monday night game of the season. So far, that is. Man, I think Miami's good, but they're not Saints good. They're not Saints good. I think Drew Brees has a big game. I think Ryan Tannehill will continue to develop and play good football. I don't think he's going to be the reason they lose. I just think the Saints really outscored the Dolphins. I think the defense of the Saints holds Miami to a few more 3-and-outs, vice versa. So I think the Saints win 31-24 over the Miami Dolphins. So that's been it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR. Once again, apologize. This is kind of short. I think some people might enjoy the shorter videos more than they do the longer ones. But my throat's absolutely killing me. But that's it. Until next time. Oh, leave a comment in the comment section below if you disagree with any of my picks. Let me know what your picks are. Now that's it. I'll see you guys later. Keep it easy. Peace.